Hi guys and dolls, today I'm going to be sharing with you a very beginner friendly makeup look. I kind of walk you through each step, kind of explain why I'm doing what I'm doing and all that stuff. I've gotten a lot of requests for beginner theme tutorials or things that are easier for beginners to do, so here you go. This is actually the look I was wearing in my last two previous videos, the Nordstrom Rack and Back to Mac haul video, and then my monthly Faves with Mikey. I used mostly MAC eyeshadows today. In fact, I think I used all MAC eyeshadows today. However, in the video I've also provided some dupes for you if you want to use, you know, different brand, maybe something that's cheaper, or maybe even something you already have. Another thing I really like about this look is it's one of those ones that if you're in a rush, it's great because you can kind of build as you go and stop at any time. So you can just wear shale by itself. You can just wear shale with mylar. You can wear, you know, put the three together and then do no eyeliner. Or, you know, whatever. You can kind of just like, oh no, I'm running out of the house, I need to stop. So this is a good one to have as like a go-to sort of look, if that makes sense. This is a very classic, pretty look, and it's one that really looks good on any eye shape, eye color, complexion, and whatever. A lot of people can rock this look. So let's go ahead and get started. So I already started out by applying my moisturizer. Today I'm using the CeraVe AM Facial Moisturizing Lotion with SPF 30. This is my go-to everyday moisturizer because it makes me feel nice and hydrated and smooth, and it also is really inexpensive. You can get it at the drugstore for like $14, $15, something like that. And then my lip balm today is the Lip Balm Shea Butter with Vitamin E SPF 25 from Jack Black. This isn't like Jack Black like the actor, it's just the name of the brand. So these are kind of my go-to everyday buddies for keeping my skin hydrated, fresh, and young looking. Now when I'm doing my makeup, I generally like to start with my eyes, even when I'm doing kind of a simpler, lighter look like this. So I'm going to be using the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. This is what you can get at the drugstore. It's lightweight, it prevents the creasing, and it's also slightly waterproof. So it's a pretty good primer at a really good price. It has a slightly yellow tint, which is going to help to cancel out some of the redness and the purpleness of my eyelid, because I got kind of veiny eyelids. Just smooth it out all over. The base eyeshadow I'm going to be using today is Shale, and it's sort of like a mauve-y, grayish kind of color. It's a very pretty eyeshadow as opposed to an eyeshadow that's like fun or funky or crazy or like, oh my god, that's so cool. This is still really cool, but it's mostly just a really beautiful color that's flattering on almost everyone. In fact, I've never actually put Shale on someone and been like, oh, that doesn't really work for you. So I would say this is one of those wonderful universal colors. Now, if you want to find a dupe for this, you could use Makeup Geek's Prom Night or Wet n Wild Silent Treatment Trio. The bottom shade in that trio is identical to Shale. However, just for the simplicity's sake, I'm just going to use the MAC eyeshadows today. Also because I just got them, so I'm kind of excited to use them. But anyway, so picking up Shale with a nice stiff flat brush, tapping off the excess, I'm going to begin to pat and sweep that color onto my lid. So you pat to deposit lots of color, or deposit the maximum amount of color. You're basically pushing it onto the lid. Pat, pat, pat. And then when you sweep, you actually smooth out the texture, and it can give a little bit more of a shine. It's kind of like with a car, like wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. So you're basically buffing the eyeshadow to make it a little bit shinier. Now when it comes to placement, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm making like a half moon sort of shape, where I'm stopping the eyeshadow as it comes to my socket line. So as my brush can kind of like dig in to my eye there, I'm going to stop placing the color, and now I'm going to pick up a blending brush. So what I have now is sort of a rough half moon shape. I'm going to take Shale eyeshadow, and this is a MAC 217 brush. This is a fluffy blending brush that has a pinched ferrule, so it kind of creates a two-sided effect. So I'm going to pick up color on just one side of the brush for now, tap off the excess, and blend around the edge, my half moon shape. You're seeing a combination of like wishy-washy, rocking it in the socket moments, or movements, and little like swirly circles are also quite effective. And then I can turn it around to the side that has less color and continue to blend without depositing more color. So another great tip is if you're in a room like me where you can see like there's more light coming from this side because I have a window open right there, it can be helpful to sort of shield your eyes and look in the mirror and kind of see, okay, yeah, it's actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Because sometimes when you have like light on, you know, one side it looks like it's lighter, then you like over apply, and that's when you get like really uneven eyes where it's like, this one ended up like really like nighttime clubbing smoky, and this one was like, I don't know, not enough. So just kind of be aware of your lighting situation and do this. Now I'm going to invite Shadowy Lady to the party. It's a beautiful, deep, dark plum color. If you want an almost exact dupe, the Wet n Wild Lust palette has an almost perfect dupe for it, so you can definitely get this for a lot less money. I'm going to be using the 217 again, and I'm just going to pounce my brush onto it because this is a really intense shadow. Tap off the extra. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this right here at the outer corner of my eye, like a little stamp. And just stamp and pounce the color on it first, so I make sure that I'm getting the precise placement that I want. Of course, this isn't like some, you know, hyper scientific look, but just for the purpose of teaching. Stamp that on, and then start to wiggle it in a little bit. And this is how I like to describe it, is it's like a, oh, I'm gonna blend now. Oh, I'm gonna blend now. So you place it, drag it, and then lift it up. So that way you don't end up taking it over too far. Now if you're like me and you like a really smoky eye, you can definitely pick up the 224, sort of pounce the tip of it onto the Shadowy Lady color, tap it off, and add a little bit more smokiness in the outer corner. Just sort of blend it around, make it nice and hazy. And rock it in your socket. Because this brush isn't very dense, it's not going to pick up a lot of color, so it's great for getting that sort of that hazy look. For my highlight today, I'm going to be using MAC's Mylar eyeshadow. It's a really nice creamy off-white. To apply it, I'm going to be using the MAC 227 brush, which is a very large shader type brush. It's really great for doing a highlight because it sort of blends as it applies. So I'm going to place this right underneath my eyebrow, just sharing the love all over. And then I'm going to be blending it into my crease color a little bit in my outer corner because it makes the hazy, smoky effect look even softer and even better blended. And then if you feel like you've lost some of that smokiness, you can come back with the 224. You don't necessarily need to pick up more product. Just sort of blend together. One of the most important things when you're new to makeup is remembering to clean up the fallout. Because even when it doesn't look like there's a lot of fallout, I mean, do you see? For eyeliner today, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay 24/7 Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in Retrograde. It's a really lovely, sparkly liquid liner that has an almost blue tone to its purpliness. So you want to shake this up first because it is a liquid liner, so it does need to be remixed. For beginners, this type of eyeliner, this liquid liner with a brush and everything, can be a little bit tricky. So what I'm going to do is use a flat push liner brush like this. This is a 212 from MAC. And just paint color on both sides of it. And what I'm going to do is, holding my skin in place but not like pulling on the eye, I'm going to just push the liner along the lash line. Or stamp it on, if that's a better term maybe. And then as I get to the outer corner, I'm just going to make it a little thicker. And make sure I get it good and into the lash line. So for my skin today, I want to keep it nice and fresh. Today I'm going to be using the Tarte BB Tinted 12-Hour Primer Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Sunscreen. This is a great little product. I use the shade Fair. So what I do is get a nice little blurby on my fingers, and I'll kind of dot it on all over. And blend it with my fingers. This is like my, I don't have time to do full face foundation, but I need to look good. Especially like when I'm in a pinch and I'm like, okay, I either can put on moisturizer or foundation. Pick one, you don't have time for both. This is kind of what I'll throw on because it's got the sunscreen in it. So when you use like a lighter coverage foundation or tinted moisturizer or something, it looks really ridiculous when you go in with like a full coverage concealer. So what I'm going to be using is the MAC Select Moisture Cover in NW15. And I'm just going to dot this in my problem areas. And then I'll bring a little buffing brush like this one. This is a Sigma P82. Just sort of buff it out. Now to set everything, I'm going to use the NYX Matte Not Flat foundation. foundation powder. I was gonna say foundation powder. What? Anyway, this is a really great foundation powder. I'm going to apply this lightly just to set the tinted moisturizer or BB cream, whatever terminology really floats your boat, and just sort of pouncing this on the skin. And then once you've done all the pouncing and there's powder place everywhere, that's when you can sort of come in and fluff the brush around and make sure that you're knocking off any excess powder in case you overdid it anywhere. And then I usually will come back with whatever's left on the brush. Do the under eye. Now for my eyebrows, I'm just going to use a little bit of clear brow gel just to set them in place. I got pretty good eyebrows, so I don't need to fill them, but if you do need to fill them, that would be a good time to do so. I don't usually curl my lashes on the day-to-day basis, but if you have really straight lashes or just love curling your lashes, please, by all means. I'm not going to apply any like eyeshadow or anything on the bottom, but I'm going to sort of tickle a little mascara on the bottom. For blush today, I'm going to be using one from Tarte. This is Blushing Bride. It's a really beautiful plum. Plums are really complimentary and just lovely, and they go really well with this eye color or eyeshadows. So I'm going to be using the same brush I used for my powder. I'm going to pounce it on the apples of my cheeks and then blend it back. So when I originally did this look last week, I had a very sheer lip gloss on with it, just kind of simple. Today I want to inject a little bit more color, so I'm going to be using the Milani Plum Rose lipstick. Just an absolutely gorgeous color. So pretty. Kind of zhuzh and fluff up the hair, add some accessories, and I am good to go. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, because I always share, you know, looks before they come out on YouTube, and also like if I do a review on my blog, I'll share it there. Like I just did a review of the Milani Color Statement, the new lipsticks, the purpley plummy mauve shades. Like I'll share like swatches of them on Instagram and Facebook first. So I think that's pretty much it. I hope you're having a great day, as I think I already said. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky. Just be yourself. See you. Bye.